So as you can see, I'm not in my actual base. Uh, I decided I'm going to redo this whole series with the mega base thing because I kept running into a problem. And every time I was trying to have it set up, I kept running into my other redstone contraptions that I'd previously made that I kept breaking. So this is going to be the new Minecraft series, redo of the Minecraft series. Where I found a nice, massive hill that I won't run into anything, and I have more space to build. It's also located right next to a village, and if you're playing in a multiplayer world and you don't want people to find your base, this is as simple as it gets. You're gonna find a place like this where it's got this like crack, and you're gonna just kind of wander in. This doesn't lead into anything really. It does lead to a lava pool down here, and sort of into a cave out front here, but we're not really too worried about that. So we are in here right now. We are starting to build our door. Okay. So you're gonna want to lay two. Did I put? No, it needs to be up by one. So let me fill in that, and you're gonna go ahead and do that, and then you're gonna. I'm gonna go just destroy that, and no, that's too low. I do this all the time. Okay, so then like that, and then you're gonna have these two like that, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and fill in this again, and then I'm gonna go and place that there. And then you need your redstone. I've built this so many times that it's like secondary memory for me. And then one there, that there, and then there. And I've made edits to this door in particular because um, I wanted a longer timer on it. And then you're going to want to clear out at least 2 blocks up here. Going across like this. And then up here, you're going to go from this side here, and you're going to place 3 wool there. You are going to place a repeater here. And you need a slab, so let's go find our slabs really fast. There you are. And I just like using pink because it's my favorite color. So we're going to go ahead and place that slab there. We're going to place a slab here, and then down here we're going to place 2 slabs. We're going to delete this one, and then we're going to put our... I need to break a above my head. This is why you cleared enough space that you can work. Okay, so then we're going to take redstone and run it all the way up here and across here. Now that will allow our door to work. And then you're just going to clear out along here like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and clear out these 2 blocks here because I want all this to match. And also this, by not using the natural surroundings, you're going, that needs to be facing that way into that, just like this one needs to be facing into it like that. You're going to realize that when you start building elsewhere around this, that you're going to notice, oh, hey, that's pink, that's not natural, or whatever color you're using, in my case, pink, that's not natural, that doesn't belong here, this is part of a redstone build, don't mess with it. And that's why it was part of my mistake I was making in the previous world. And we're going to go down here, and we're going to place one up. I'm going to put this stone back, and then we're going to go 2 across, put my stone back because I deleted it, and then 1 up. And then this will allow our redstone door to be connected. Now, if I take a button, and I gotta go find my button, and I do this a lot where I'm not really, I'm working, but I don't have the necessary materials on me. Now when we do this, all the doors will shut and then go back. Okay, so that all there works. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that button. I'm going to go down by 1, 2, I need to go over here. Then I need to go in here like this. So I need to go down by at least one more. And then over here. And I'm just going to kind of delete these blocks for the moment. And then this is just me kind of trying to figure out where my button outside is going to be. So naturally, I cannot put, I can put the button here. And I just want to kind of like break that block, and then I'm going to go ahead and put redstone there, and then I'm going to cover that up with that. And right now you can see my button. Like especially if you're in a PvP world, most people will look anywhere and everywhere for your base. Okay, so right here is where my button is. And I don't want it interfering with this, so I'm going to leave it just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and go down like this. And then I need to go down by one here, because I need it to go underneath of this. And then I need a comparator. And I wanted my door to have a bit longer of a timer on it. And because I wanted my door to have a greater timer to make it easier, especially when you're in flying mode to get through. Normally, you only have 3 or 4 going this way, and I'm going to put 2 extra just because I want it to be that way. So we're going to go like this, and then we're going to have break that, and then we're going to have our redstone dust coming that in. So then when the signal gets over here, it'll just dissipate. So, well, now I can't go like that. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, yeah, I got that right. Okay, so then we're going to go up here, and again, we're going to go hit our button and test it. Okay, why is this not working? Maybe I need... Let me put a button... Nope, not right there. Right here. It is getting... Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay, so it's not coming... There we go. No, yeah. And then I need this like this, and then I need to drop that there. And I actually need one more like that. And redstone up there like that. Okay. So now let's test this out. That's working just fine. Okay. Okay, so I don't need that button now. Now we're going to go down here. And here we're going to go ahead and break out a bit more of this ceiling. Now you don't want this I'm just going to kind of break this out so I can see what I'm doing. And I always end up breaking out too much. Okay, so we're going to come down here. We're going to come down by 1, and then we're going to go over by a couple. And then I want that there. And actually, I need to go down by 1 more on this. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find my redstone block. Oops, nope, that's a book and quill. I don't need a book and quill. I'm going to go ahead and go in here. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to move this out. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to have this running along like that. So now my doors are closed. And then I need to just open up this a little bit so I can have that gap there. So let me put a button here and I'll show you. So when this goes like that, the doors are supposed to open, which fortunately right now it's not working right. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And then why is this not working right? Strange. No. I did not mean to do that. So normally I only put like one extra, but two extra this time, so this door is a little bit more, I don't want to say wonky because it's not wonky, it's just a little more, not special, a bit more of a pain in my butt than previous, but, so we're gonna just go ahead and break all this here. And I'm doing this for one particular reason, because down here we're gonna have okay. Oh, I just realized you guys are not getting any sound from me building. Let me take care of that really fast. There we go. Now you guys should be getting some sound from me doing this. Okay, so now we're going to place that repeater there. We're going to place a redstone dust going this direction into this wall. And then I need to clear this out just enough. And then we're going to have... So at the corner of this block here, we need stone up like this. I'm going to go ahead and put in our flooring, which will be here. I can't see nothing. And that's why I have a emergency light in my inventory. Okay, so we're going to have that there. And then we're going to take... Actually, we're going to go up by 2. And then we're going to go over here, take it down by 1, and then place in our redstone dust. And then I want to break this one here because I want to... And I'm just going to use the half slabs because they'll turn into a full block. I want my button to be on here. And it's not going to do anything because, well, our button's not hooked up yet. Okay, so with that, we are going to have this coming out this direction. Let me make sure that actually is extending like it's supposed to. Yep, that's extending like it's supposed to. Okay, and then we no longer need this block here, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. We are going to have, so right there, and then we actually need to change this around a little bit because of the extra block of reach that it needs. We're going to go up by 2 there. We're going to put a redstone there. And then we are going to go this way and go up by 1 and put redstone there. And then we need to go over here. And again, because a block here and a block here. We are going to have our redstone dust going this direction to here, up to here like this, and it's going to be all connected. So then when I hit this button here, this red, no, I need that. I need this over by 1, but lower than that, so like that. So now when I hit this button, okay, that's now working. Now let me double check this again, and That's all working, just like that's supposed to be. Now let's go out. Yep, there we go. All of this is now working. That's how you build that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go buy me my full cherry blocks, my full cherry planks, so I can do this. And because I want my entranceway to be cherry wood. And then we're just going to go ahead and cover this up. I'm going to leave the space underneath so that I don't break it, and B, so that when we have to go down to mess with anything, it's not broken. Like if it breaks or something, then I can go down and just make the repairs. And then I'm just going to go ahead and open this up a little bit more. And I'm going to put lights in. Now I've done this, and this is part of the reason I left the other world that I was working on and ended that particular part of the series, because again, I kept running into my redstone stuff and breaking it because I didn't have enough space. And then I'm not very good at landscaping. I'm pretty sure there's a few different builders like Pixel Riffs, who's pretty good at landscaping, and I love watching his videos. Some of the machines that I'm building within this series, I've also gotten from, let me see if I can find it. I have to go through here because I can't figure out where the copper bulbs are. Okay, so I want this copper bulb. And then I want it like every other side. And then, you know, I need planks along here. Just a few more extra planks just because of the fact that I've got, you know, all that redstone down there that I don't want to break. And I'm going to cover up all of this. Break out above my head again, and I'm going to cover this one up. And then I think right here is where I'll start the chamber. Now the lights are pretty simple. I want the lights to end right there, and this hallway is too short. It's only too tall. I want it taller than that. So let's go ahead and fix my hallway. Okay, so it was only 2 blocks tall. I want it taller than that. So let's go around here like this. Oops. And that's what happens when you, because I do that. Oh, it didn't break anything, but it's somewhat frustrating. And I want my hallway at least 3 tall. So then I'm going to go around up in here like this. I'm going to break out more blocks here. And I want my entranceway 3 tall instead of less than that. So then I'm going to go ahead and place a block here, this, that, place that there, place that one there, and then I'm going to place here and here, go back and place this, and then I'm just going to keep alternating that pattern until I get to here, which then I'm going to wall that off, but right now I'm not going to because I need to come up here and I need to break out at least one edge above. And then I need redstone dust to travel along at least one side of this. Oops, I don't need those ones. Like that. And then that'll be a separation. And this will be like my hallway. So then, because I can't do this with a button. I mean, I can probably use an XOR gate in order to do this, but I kind of like the lever to look like a light switch. So we're going to move that. We're going to take this. We already have our redstone dust. Oops, I don't need 64 of those. We need one. Okay, so we are going to move some stuff around in our inventory. I'm going to go ahead and put my lever here. And then and just on this other side here, I'm going to break it out a couple of blocks. And actually, I want my lever one in. And then we're going to take our redstone torch and we're going to power it off. Okay, so there's our redstone torch powered off. So now I'm going to go back and get my pink wool again. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change the color of my wool just so that I can tell that this is part of a different build. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use light blue wool. And I want to go down 2 from there, and I'm going to have my redstone path. And then I kind of need to go up in a bit of a spiral almost. But I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is going to be right here. And I need the redstone dust going like that. Okay, so now when I turn this switch on, and I no longer need this, you're going to see lights. Then when I turn it off, that's supposed to turn off. I had this working before. Okay, yeah. So that again is broken. So then we're going to go like, let me see. Okay, lights go on. And again, the lights do not go off like they're supposed to. That goes off. Okay, so maybe instead of doing that, I had this working once before and it was working just fine like that, but I guess now it's not gonna work okay. So I'm gonna have this coming out like this. I'm gonna have my redstone dust like that. And then it's gonna be watching the torch. So then when the torch goes out, it goes on. When the torch goes out, it goes. Okay, I'm gonna have that on. I'm gonna turn that off. And when that's on, I'm gonna have. Okay. So now when I flip this switch, the lights go out. Flip it again, the lights go on. Okay, there we go. Now I got this fixed. And now I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my holes up here because I've got too many holes in here. And I want to try and keep as many my gaps as I can, just so that the redstone's not getting cut off. Okay, now that I've done that and I got working lights, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the walls in. And this room is gonna be my cherry wood walls. So now I need to figure out the size of my main room. And I want a pretty decent sized room. So we're gonna start going this way now. And you know, I'm not entirely sure how big this room is gonna be. And I have a feeling I'm gonna be filling some of this in later. You know, subtitles would be nice in this so that, you know, lava popping, like in Java Edition would be really nice because then, you know when you're about to run into a thing of lava. I think that should be good enough so that I can go back over to this hallway here. Oh, I did hit the hallway. Okay, yeah. I think. Oh, okay, I did hit this hallway. And I need to build this in. And I'm a few more blocks this way. And I generally end up always doing this. One too many blocks this way. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling this in. Okay, and I'm just going to go this way. And I'm just going to start doing this. Where I'm going to start clearing out all these blocks. Now, normally this is not how it works with regular Minecraft, but I like to play in creative mode because then I can show you guys how to build things without having to go and resource the materials. Now, eventually I will do a series where I am doing that. Similar to some of the Minecraft hardcore people, but I prefer to do tutorials like this because then, you know, you're not having to source all the blocks and try and find everything that you need in order to make these builds work. I will be showing you how to do a because I found that the XOR gate is very useful for this and helps me to get my stairs in the right timing. Because here's part of the problem. With an XOR gate, you have to use a lever. Now, if you want a hidden set of stairs and not, you know, a set of stairs that's someone's gonna find easily, you know, and you want that, you are going to want to use the XOR gate with a timed set of stairs. The XOR gate will allow the stairs to remain open and also time your buttons in sequence so that when you hit one button, both buttons are on the same wavelength is basically what you were doing with that. And I will show you that here in a bit. I've shown you that guys that already, where I was using an XOR gate because I wanted to use buttons instead of levers. Now you can do just the XOR gate and just use the levers. But if you want to use buttons, you can't use an XOR gate for it because the buttons themselves only give out a 1-tick pulse. And that 1-tick pulse is, for an XOR gate, isn't going to keep your stairs out. So your best bet is to set up a set of stairs where you're using an XOR gate along with a timer. And as soon as I get this, area nice and the way I want it to, I will go ahead and show you guys that. Right now you guys are just seeing me do this, and eventually I will go back and edit my videos. I just really haven't had the motivation to go and edit my videos because I like it when you guys see my mistakes. I like it when you guys see me, for lack of a better term, fail. Because then, in my opinion at least, it shows that, we're not perfect. We are, and I'm not a professional YouTuber, so there's that, Do I want to be a professional YouTuber? I like to do this for fun. I don't want to do it for a job. Because if I was having to do this for a job, well, then it'd become work, and then it wouldn't be fun anymore. I currently love my current profession, and my current profession is rather rewarding. And I'm not going to go into detail about my profession because it wouldn't be hard to find my profession. While my profession is all over the place, and it's not just tied to one specific place, I prefer not to go into detail about it. So now that we got our initial space cleared, I don't even know why I'm patching up the floor. I'm going to be replacing the floor. But let me go ahead and do the walls. Okay. And then, my next project is going to be a little bit more tricky because I'm going to be placing lights inside the walls. Or into the ceiling, and that wasn't going so well in my last attempt because I was having to use... Oops. A lot of observers to kind of help with it. So unlike the set that I just did right now, redstone does not go far enough to be able to hit all of the it doesn't go far enough to hit all the lights like it does on the one I just did. So you got to get a little bit more creative with that, Okay, so let's go ahead and finish putting these walls in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish putting these walls in, and then I'm going to turn this basically what looks like into a miniature house, but inside of basically inside of the cape I'm making. I think fly. Okay, so we're going to come along here like this, and that is our last wall. Okay, so before I get started too much on lighting this place up, I am going to break this area down and start from there. Okay, so I want a different color for my floor, and I want a color that goes well with cherry wood. I don't really want a white floor. Let's go with mangrove. Let's go ahead and go with a mangrove floor. Yeah, it looks pretty good together. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna clear out one block below. And this is gonna take a little while because this is me. Oops. So at some point, you know, when I actually decide to edit my videos, I will just probably do something like a Cookie Gods spiel and just kind of clap my hands or something and automatically have the floor done. And then maybe a sped up edited version of, and part of the video showing you that how long this actually took. Now, God forbid someone does actually find your base. You know, for example, let's say someone does find your base. And I was watching Mumbo recently, and he gave me a very wicked idea that just, he's got these shops within his Hermitcraft. I guess Hermitcraft is pretty well, season 10 is done. But he had this system where different items he had would be filtered and go to specific spots. And I want to kind of do something similar, but not in the same way he did it. Because again, redstone contraptions on Bedrock work differently than redstone contraptions do on Java. So whereas I'd love to create a flying machine, on Java, or I mean, Bedrock, it does not work. And that's frustrating. Because I'd really love to have stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this stone in, and I'm going to start filling in this floor. And again, this will also take a while. Now at some point I will stop recording and start up recording again on part 2 once I get set up somewhere. Let me check how long I've been recording so far. I've been recording for 40 minutes now. I'm pretty if you guys can hear my grandfather coughing in the background, he's coughing in the background. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going like this. I'm probably gonna record for about an hour and then quit, and then I'll get some stuff set up and some things ready to record again. And I think I have an idea how to make my lights work. It's going to be a lot of observers to do this because, again, I can't figure out a way to make this work because the signal gets lost. Or not lost, but the signal weakens too much in order to do this. Alright, so I am going to start by clearing out 3 blocks above my head. And I'd suggest using repeaters, but again, repeaters, unfortunately, with this stay on instead of turning off like I need them to. It's like they hold the signal in, you know, for whatever I was trying to do. So the repeaters idea was not working. Oh, wait, no, I'm not quite there yet. Okay, so there we go, and I'm just gonna go this way. And again, 3 above the top above where my ceiling is going to be. Okay, so now I'm just going to clear out the ceiling. And the reason I said 3 is because I'm going to have the ceiling the same color, maybe, as my flooring. Actually, you know what? I want to do something different with the ceiling. I want to go with another variant of pink. But I don't want it to be wood or anything. I want it to be concrete. I think we're going to test this out before I do it. Okay, so I'm going to finish clearing out my ceiling, my false ceiling, and I'm going to need room above all my redstone. Between floors. Okay. This is taking a while. And I'm only going to be recording one episode per week at this point because I don't have the time between work and everything else that's going on to record more than one episode per week. And just to keep that from happening, I'm just going to go back here and I'm just going to do this. Okay, so now I'm going to go and find me my concrete. I'm going to find me my pink. I'm going to move that so I can do this. And I'm going to move, well, this so I can do that. And then I want to do, I'm going to do rows of lights. So my lights are going to be, actually, I don't really want that there. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to cover that up. Because I kind of want this covered up from what I'm working on now. I might move that. Okay, so I'm going to have my first row of lights going across. And then say I picked the middle, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27. Okay, so let's say there's 27. Don't really care for odd numbers. But I'm going to go ahead and take this. Not that. Take my switch. I'm going to count over 26 divided in half. 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So right about here. And yep, that gets all my lights. Okay, so that is perfect. And then I'm going to turn that off for a second. turn that off for a second. I'm gonna get string lights across and see how far it goes when I turn them on. And I screwed up already. Okay, it only goes across to there. Okay, so that works. Because I'm going to have it so this row here is concrete. And then this row is concrete. This row is concrete. So every other row is going to be concrete, and every other row is going to be lights. And it's going to lose signal strength as it goes along. And I currently know where it will lose signal strength. But at the same time, I want... I'll show you guys in a second what the plan is. Once I get all the lights in. Okay, I'm going to turn them off again. I'm going to take out this row of lights. And I'm going to insert this into every single one where those lights, extra lights were at. And I'm going to have my lights going across like this. Just so I can go ahead and fill in all this. I need to put a light up here so I can see what I'm doing. Also, before I do this, I need to map out where my stairs are going to be. So I want my floor, so I want the next floor to be here. So I'm going to map this out real fast. So I'm going to get some stairs. I wish they'd make concrete stairs. But I need to map out my stairs. Okay, so I can go down here like this without the light interfering, and I can go up here like this with the light interfering. Can I put an extra one here? No. And so I want to put that like that, and then have my lights stopped on the other side of this. Okay. And the reason I picked copper bulbs is because I can turn them on and off. Unlike some of the other light sources, the only other light sources that I can turn on and off redstone lamps, and some of the stuff like that. Okay, so for my switch here, I need to go out one. I need to remove my switch so I can. And then as redstone, there's how I'll know where my switch needs to be. Okay, there we go. Now I want to connect all these up. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my switch back over here. And see how. Okay, so then. Okay. So it only goes out to this one here. So I'm gonna go ahead, break this one so that I know where it stops there. So it'll go out strongest at its base, which is 27 long. And this thing here is only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 wide, so that idea won't work. Could try adding a redstone here, but the signal's not strong enough. And I don't think I can put a repeater there. But then, okay, let me hit this. Yeah, see, the repeater stays on, which means these are all. Okay. So then what I need, what I'm thinking about this, is because I need these areas that are not covered by that switch to be switched on. And I think this would be easier. Maybe I'm starting from here, and I am not sure that this will work. Is taking an observer, and for every row going back, so the rows are not connected. And the more rows you put in, the more repeaters or more observers you're going to have to use. Let's try that. And have me a switch right in Okay, they'll light up like that, and then remove that repeater or observer. And I don't think placing this reserve. Yeah, okay, the observer won't do anything. Okay, so then I have to have an observer here. And I'm just going to go ahead and break this one out so I can go down. And then here's my question. Okay, so if I take this out and I put this back here, and then I put a switch here in the on position. Okay. That will not affect my torch, so I needed to. Okay, that does fixes that. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now I want to put a lights. I need to put a light switch. I think same spot on the other side. Lever. Torch. Redstone dust trail. No, not a redstone dust trail. I need to clear a couple blocks back here. Observer. I'm gonna go with my again. And up. Okay, where aren't those ones going out now? These ones should be going out and the other ones are going out. Okay, let's go back down and turn this off for a second. Remove that. And then put this there. Put this along here like this again. And now hopefully this signal strength will make it now. Okay. Perfect. And now they're all gone up in sequence. Okay. And now with that, I no longer need this or these ones here. Because all my lights are now on. And I've already figured out where my stairs are going to go. So I'm going to break this back. And what do I want to put my flooring up here? I think I'm going to go with cherry wood flooring. I'm going to break that, and I'm going to go ahead and start on my flooring, and I want one block, I need it one block above all of this. Okay. Should have been doing my lights from like this from the beginning. Yeah, it's gonna take me less observers to do my lights this way than it is going to be to. I'm gonna go ahead and fill my concrete holes. And actually, these need to go back by one. just gonna open up this small area here for the top of my next floor. Oh, and I want my wall here, and then I need my stairs to hide out in here, and then they're gonna get pushed out right here. Okay. Then I need to come back here and behind this structure. Break me enough wall I can maneuver. I'm gonna go ahead and start inserting my stairs. No one's really gonna be looking too closely anyway, so it's not like this really matters. For the second floor here and above, I want something different. Well, maybe instead I switch over to mangrove for my walls. Make it look a bit more interesting. And of course, due to that, I don't know where this let's put a lever here. Open this back by one, and then just have this going up the steps. Just so I can see where the steps come. Okay, steps are gonna come up here to like this. Okay. So technically, I could put a light here. But I don't want a light there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cover that back up. I guess being that open spine. I think I want to use some fencing, and I'm going to go ahead and use the fencing to match my floor. Like that. And again, I want my ceiling to be high. I'm going to break this like this because now I'm going to break several blocks back. Because I'm going to... Oh, hold on, my friend's calling me, guys. Hey, yo, everyone. I am. Oh, you're gonna hear my voice echoing because I'm on phone. But I am done recording for now, and I will talk to you.